Greetings to one and all over here. This is Ms.V.Menakadevi, Assistant Professor, Department of English from PPG College of Arts and Science. Now, we are going to see about sentence pattern. First of all, let me explain what is a sentence. A group of words combined together to form a meaningful sentence. And a sentence is a basic structure of subject and predicate. It consists of subject, verb, object, complement, and adverb. There are 7 basic patterns in a sentence. Here in this given slide, you can see the 7 basic patterns. The first one is subject, verb, object, complement, and agent. Here the object is divided into direct object and indirect object, and then complement is divided into object complement and subject complement. Now let us see what is subject. The subject can be a noun or a pronoun that does the action. For example, the star is shining, he is intelligent, birds fly. Here you can see the highlighted words. The star, he, and birds are considered to be the subject of a sentence. So subject is nothing but it is the doer of an action. So in the first sentence, the star is shining. The subject is star, so it is the doer of an action. And in the second sentence, he is intelligent. So who is intelligent? He. So he is the doer of an action, so it is considered to be the subject. And then for birds fly, so here whom is flying? Birds. So birds is considered to be the subject. So yes, the next one is verb. Let me explain what is a verb. As you all know that a verb is an action word. It shows the activity or action that done by the subject. So it often occurs immediately after the subject, which means it accompanies the subject always. It includes main verbs, helping verbs, stative verbs, and action verbs. Here you can see the examples. It was too dark and I feel tired. So here in the first sentence, it was too dark. Was is considered to be the main verb of a sentence, and I feel tired. Here feel is also a main verb in a sentence. So obviously the next thing is object. An object is a noun or pronoun that receives the action that done by the subject. So you can already know that objects can be divided into 2 types. The first thing is direct object and the second thing is indirect object. Let us learn something about direct object. Here, a noun or pronoun that receives the action directly is the direct object in the sentence. That is, the subject in a sentence that receives the action directly. And direct object mostly appear immediately after the verb and or the primary objects in a sentence. It answers to the questions what. So you can easily find out the object in a sentence by framing a questions. If it answers to the question what, obviously it is considered to be the direct object of a sentence. Here see the example. Harry bought a new car. Here you just go through the previous point which I was given. It answers to the question what. So just form a sentence using a what. Harry bought a new car. So what is the question for this sentence? You can frame like what did Harry bought. So he bought a car. Obviously it is answering to the question what. So what did he bought? A car. So it is answering to the question what. So it is a object. Here I have given another 2 examples. My mom made a cake. I met my friend. So in this second example, you can refer to the second point. Direct object mostly appear immediately after the verb and or the primary objects in the sentence. So here in this example, you can see my mom made a cake. So in the sentence, made is a verb and the object is appearing immediately after the verb form, that is made. So here cake is a object in a sentence. And also in the next example, I met my friend. You can go through the first point. A noun or pronoun that receives the action directly is the direct object in a sentence. So here you can see the subject is receiving his friend. So that is all about the direct object of a sentence. So the next one is the indirect object. However, is the noun that receives the direct object itself. Indirect objects can only be placed directly after the verb and before the direct object. Indirect objects can only be used in sentences with the direct objects. Here you can learn one thing, that in a sentence there should be a two objects to mark indirect object. So that is, there should be two object in a sentence. One is direct object and the another one is indirect object of a sentence. Let us see the example. His mother gave him his lunch bag. You can see in this sentence there is a lunch bag, him and his. So how can we split it into direct object and indirect object? Obviously we learned something few about direct object in the previous slide. That is, it answers to the questions what in a sentence. If it answers to the question what, it is the direct object. So here you can see his mother gave him his lunch bag. Just frame the questions using lunch bag. So what did his mother gave him? A lunch bag. So it is answering to the question what. So we are marking it as, that is, the lunch bag as direct object. So to whom his mother is giving. To whom or for whom the action of a verb in a sentence is performing. There is also another chance to find out the indirect object. It typically comes immediately after the verb and before the direct object. So here the direct object is a lunch bag. So it comes before the lunch bag. The next thing is complement. Complement in a grammar is a word, clause or phrase that's needed to describe the subject or object of a sentence. And the subject complements can be noun, an adjective, a single word or a group of words that act like a noun or adjective. The object of a sentence is the person, place, thing or idea that receiving the action of a verb. Object complements can beef up or complements the object of a sentence. Here you can just remember the one thing. The complement is nothing but it makes complete sense in a sentence. So without complement, a sentence cannot be fulfilled. It cannot give complete meaning to the sentence. So if complement occurs, it is the meaningful sentence. Here, a subject complement is a word or phrase that modifies the noun or pronoun that act as a subject in the sentence. So obviously you all know that it is found in sentences with the sentence pattern such as subject verb complement, adverb, and adverb subject verb complement, etc. So complement can be modified or categorized into different patterns that may be occur in the end of the sentence, that is after the verb form. You can see the example. This dress is new. Here you can palpably see that this is pointing out the dress. So it is obviously the subject complement. If it point out the subject, it is the subject complement of a sentence. The next thing is object complement. An object complement is a word or phrase that modifies the noun or pronoun that act as the subject in the sentence. So it is found in the sentence patterns like subject verb object complement and adverb subject verb object complement. So here we are going to see the examples for object complement. For example, we named our dog Shadow. So you can see the pattern. We subject named verb or dog, it is an object, and what they are naming it as Shadow. So here the object is shadow. So you can mention the object complement as shadow. Why we are mentioning it as object complement? That is because if we complete the sentence without shadow, it cannot give a complete meaning. So only the presence of the word shadow gives the complete meaning, and that is the pattern of object in a sentence. So here shadow is the object complement of a sentence. The next thing is agent. It can be said that these words can include adverbs and adverb clauses. So, an agent is a word or phrase that gives more information about an action, an event, a quality, and so on. Agents can be identified by asking questions like when, where, why, how often, to what extent. So you can identify the agent by framing the questions using those six given words, that is when, where, why, how often, to what extent. If it answers to the questions to the given sentences, given words, it is the agent of a sentence. Here are the examples given for agent. The first one is he is very tired, and the second one is due to his health he could not come home for Christmas. My father reads the newspaper every day. This workout routine is extremely exhausting. And yesterday we met at the park. So, in those given examples, it gives more information about the action by using the adverbs and adverb classes. Thank you for listening. Hope you all understood the lesson. Thank you. Have a nice day.